Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Gabriel, and welcome to 24. Actually, this is the first video that I'm publishing. Please pardon me, my kids. Today I'm going to do the podcast with my children because my wife went to work and she just came back home. She's very tired, and so today is Saturday, so there's nothing you can do. So please pardon me. So I'm starting my podcast with TB Joshua issue. Ever since BBC documentary was published, there has been a lot of reactions, especially from Africa. Nigerians, Ghanaians, everywhere. Because TB Joshua is if not a global person. He's an African person. The whole Africa. Nobody doesn't know about TB Joshua, and personally, he has done a lot. He has done a lot. So I cannot actually say, because I don't have that eye to discern whether he did a spiritually good or from God or is evil. I cannot tell. I cannot tell. I've been there, and so if you watch if you look at my video, a video that I was in the car. I was driving and I was started talking. I've never spoken against TB Joshua. What I can talk about is the institution and the way they do things, especially when you are from a low background, where you are coming from, and you come to Nigeria and you come to the synagogue church, the way they treat you. Nobody can dispute what I said, because it is true. It is true. But that is not to say that the person, as TB Joshua himself, is good or bad, because I cannot say that. I don't know about that. But looking at a lot of reactions on Facebook, especially, it took my mind back to a man that I've read about and I've heard. That is Jim Jones. And so I decided to read and do a little bit of research about Jim Jones, and then see whether there is similarity between Jim Jones and TB Joshua. And this is what I have found. I know the story, but I've not really taken it into consideration until I actually read the story and found out this. So this is what I wanted to talk about. So Jim Jones was born on 13th May 1931 in Indiana, USA. And he grew up as a normal Christian child. So he finally graduated from Butler University and proceeded into ministry. So Jim Jones gained reputation as a charismatic church man, and that is actually became more interesting. That is what became more interesting, because that is where you can actually begin to compare Jim Jones to TB Joshua. And it's mainly because they both have the ability to foretell the future, what we normally call prophecy. So number two is the ability to heal the sick, because Jim Jones actually possesses the power to heal people. Number three, he's a vocal proponent of a racial integration. So it means that Jim Jones is not a racist. That is a word. It doesn't matter whether you are a black person or a white person or Indian or Mexican or whatever. I mean, he brings people together. Yes, so he brings people together. And you can tell that TB Joshua also has that that flair. TB Joshua also has that flair. Yes, so in 1955, Jim Jones started his own deliverance ministry, which is a Pentecostal ministry called People's Temple. And all this time, he's noted for his work with the homeless, which allowed him to be the director of the Indianapolis Human Rights Commission. So you can see that he even became like a politician. I mean, you can say, because of his work, his work on homeless people and all that. But later, he relocated his church to California in 1965. But this is what became very interesting. He became obsessed with power. And before he realized, various allegations started coming up against him. So in 1977, he and his members immigrated to Guyana and set up an agricultural community in Johnstown. He did that because, I mean, the number of allegations that have been labeled against him is becoming too much. So he and his people moved. He moved to Guyana to start all over again. Now he became the ruler over the people, and some wanted to leave, but you see, he doesn't want to be alone. So he has to find a way of keeping the people in his community. So he confiscated the passports of the members, and not just that, but he started molesting the members. You see, because you see, all the members are in the community. They don't mix up with the people or the town, but they are excluded, and they live in their own community. So he became the ruler over the people. So now in 1978, the U.S. representative for California, Leo Ryan, took some reporters to Guyana to investigate the abuses. Now, 14 members of Jim Jones' people defected from the cult and left with the team, while Jim Jones wasn't happy at all. So he ordered assassination of the team, and Ryan and 4 other people died. Fortunately or unfortunately, most of them escaped. Now, Jim Jones started panicking because the team would definitely report him. So on the 18th of November 1978, he commanded his followers to drink a cyanide punch and killed 113 people at the spot and shot himself. The similarities about TB Joshua and Jim Jones. The first one is that they both operate in prophetic. Neither of them can tell the future. Most of us don't know about Jim Jones, but TB Joshua, we can tell that there are so many things that he said that came to pass. And so we can say that, yes, he works with he operates in prophecy, with prophetic. Number 2 is healing, the ability to heal. We cannot dispute this fact because, I mean, we know TB Joshua as somebody who can heal people. Where the powers come from, I don't know. As for where the power come from, I don't know. I mean, but whether it is good spirit or bad spirit, it's only God. It's only God who can tell. But we know that, yes, he has. And then from what I read, Jim Jones also heal people. Number 3 is that racial integration. Both of them are proponents of racial integration. they like to bring people together. They like to bring people together, and we can tell on TV. On TV, we can tell. I mean, TV Joshua. Oh, it doesn't matter whether you're white, black, or wherever you come from, you are still welcomed in this church, and so you can tell that he's a strong person with that. Number 4 is philanthropism. Both of them are philanthropic. With Jim Jones, he worked with homeless people, and so you cannot tell me that if you don't give, as somebody who doesn't give will still work with homeless people. I mean, because homeless people need a lot. So somebody who only need people who can really like to give to them, and so you can tell that that is one. And then T.B. Joshua also lived with the same abilities. You see, he goes to neighborhoods, he give them food, rice, bag of rice, and all that. He can pay bills, heavy bills for people, and he did that for people. So you can tell that both of them still philanthropic. The 5th one is that both of them are very powerful people. They are very powerful people. Influential people. They are very influential people, very respected people. You see, both of them are very respected people. They are people that politicians, people in academics, I mean, everywhere. You see, comes to them, and then you can see, you can tell that these are very, very influential people, celebrities here and there, and all that. So you can see that both of them still have the ability to command the crowd. You see, number 6 is that cultism. And to say cultism is not. The word cultism doesn't mean that that doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil. Yes, cultism doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil, but cultism has kind of just some of the characteristics that are kind of evil. But I mean, things like very strong, organized. They are very strong, organized. They live together. So you can't say that is evil. You see, you can't say that is evil. So, and I actually don't know. I don't know that so much about T.B. Joshua until I actually saw the BBC documentary. So if the BBC documentary is something to hold, then I can say that the Synagogue of All Nations has characteristics of cults, and that is it. The 7th one is the one that I actually want most of us to listen to me. And even if you don't like what I'm talking about, please listen to this thing and pay attention to this. And that is that most of the victims, the people that we consider as victims, are black people. Most of these people. See, Jim Jones, 913 people died. Out of these 913 people, 70% of these numbers were African Americans. And you see, I don't even know this about African Americans until I came to America, that they also have that same belief systems of Africans. They can believe things. They can, you see, if you really go to neighborhoods that are more Africans, oh my God, the way they believe, the way you can go to YouTube and check African Americans in churches and all that, and you can see the way they pray and all. They have, which is not evil. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad, but it means that it doesn't matter where you stay. Black people, it's from our genes. Our belief system is a little bit different. So if you are an African, you have to be very careful, because you can see somebody who is very learned, somebody who goes to school and a doctor or a professor or whatever, and still be swayed by religious things, and sometimes it becomes a little bit problematic. You see, so we have to be very, very careful. Lessons. The lessons. The first one is that do not be swayed by what people do in the broad daylight. So don't be so much swayed by what somebody do in the broad daylight. You see, sometimes you don't really know. The person may have a very dark. We all have we all have lifestyles, you know, but sometimes it doesn't really affect other people, you see. But so whoever you follow, anybody that you follow, you have to be very careful that you know what the person is, who your person really is, you see. Number 2 is that do not ignore what close people tell you about somebody, because it might be a red flag. I mean, let me say something about this. Sometimes the people who are close to people may say things about somebody based on jealousy. So sometimes somebody is close to you and he doesn't like you, so he will say things. So you have to be very careful what somebody is saying. But then that is why we all have the ability to discern. When somebody is saying something about somebody, you have to be able to discern. You don't have to ignore it so much, because it might be a red flag, and judge the person on who the person really is. When you find out that it's not it's a lie, you know that it's a lie. When it's true, you know that it's true. You see, so you don't have to live your life ignoring your ability to discern. Discernment is very, very important to everybody. You see, it's very, very important to everybody, and God gives everybody the ability to discern. You see, so that is what I can say about that. Number 3 is that power can be corrupt. Power can be corrupt. So why am I saying this? We have to be very careful how we want to be powerful. You see, we have to be very careful how powerful we want to become. If anything, we have seen, because I believe that most people have seen the BBC documentary, and even if you have not seen the whole thing, you have seen a little bit of it on Facebook or something. You've seen it, but I have actually taken my time to see all everything from A to Z. Sometimes people start on a good note, you see, but later on, because of power, you see, and the ability to control how powerful you become, you begin to do things that it goes against you and your community and the people that really respect you so much. You see, so you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful how powerful you are. Sometimes you yourself have to, in your quiet, you have to judge yourself and say, this is where I come from, and this is how far I have come. Am I becoming too powerful? Am I because you see, you cannot be powerful than the people. That's one thing you see, like for example, a politician. You can't be powerful than the people who voted you. That's one thing. So the same thing as a pastor or a man of God or anything. You cannot be more powerful than your followers. Because the followers are more. They are more. You see, and you don't know what is in their head. So you can't be more powerful than all of them. Even though you are the one leading them, you can't be powerful than all of them. So all the time, you have to know exactly how level you must go. You see, you have to know the level you must go. So that is it. The fourth one is that true love is like charity and start from home. Nobody can tell you that he loves you or he loves when first he doesn't love his family, his children, his wife, his father, his mother, nobody. So, and I'm saying this thing because of what I've seen on the BBC, which again is disputable. It's disputable. Yes, it's disputable. I'm not saying that I am saying the BBC documentary is true. I'm not saying that it's true 100%. I don't even have to believe or not. I have my own thing. So I don't have to believe or not. I don't even have to tell you that it's true or not, you see. But you can see that even though we all respect and love the Prophet T.B. Joshua, his daughter is one way or the other is relegated to the ground and has even been sent out of the residence or something like that. You see, if it is true, then I think it's something that is debatable. That's what I can say. It's debatable. Because I don't know I actually don't know what her daughter did, but from what the girl said, she said because she didn't like what the father was doing to other people, and so because of that, the father didn't like her. And if it is true, then it is a very serious thing that we. The whole of Africa has to really think about, because especially those who are saying things, disputing the BBC documentary. You cannot say that you love T.B. Joshua when you don't like the daughter. You see, because the daughter is also a child of God. It's a child of God. So you cannot love the man. Then it means that you just love the man because of what the man can do for you. You see? So my take. Scripture has not commanded believers to cover atrocities. You are not doing anything good, defending evil in a church. In fact, Bible says everything that is done in hidden will be exposed. So I'm not saying this because I want T.B. Joshua to be exposed, because T.B. Joshua is already dead, and you don't have to be afraid of somebody who's dead. But it is for those of us who are alive to learn that we can believe people, we can believe people, we can like people, But human beings are fallible, and it depends on the kind of crime that you commit. Sometimes your crimes are punishable. I will never say that T.B. Joshua is not, because I don't know him personally. I have not lived with him. I cannot tell what the people are saying. Those who live with him, what they are saying, I don't know whether it is true or not. Because and I don't even need to. I don't even need to try to even defend anybody or dispute anybody. But so the same way, those of you who are defending him and all that, you are only defending him from elsewhere. From elsewhere, you don't really know him so much. So and I'm saying that because I want the people, because in the documentary there are human abuses, there are sexual abuses, and those things are criminal. They are criminal. They are things that can be prosecuted. You see, those things can be prosecuted, and so you cannot, because see, if let's say a pastor who went to had a service of a prostitute, and then a pastor who raped somebody. Their crimes are too different. I mean, you can say that it's the same in the religious settings, but in the criminal prosecution or something in the court, these are two different things. You see, if somebody hires a prostitute, he never really raped the person. You see, so the church can say you did that and did that and did that. You see, but then if a pastor rapes somebody, you can even forgive him. But the law court is a different game. It's a different game. So I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is that we have to be very careful as people or believers. All these things about TB Joshua and those things. Even if it is one, it's not good. It's not so good. And some of the things that I've seen in the video, which again is disputable, but if it is true, these are criminal things. You see, so, but the man is dead and gone. So it's a lesson from those of us who are alive. You see, especially the young women. You have to be very careful. You see, because there are so many people in Africa. There's so many people who are in Africa who are also operating in the same way TB Joshua operated. So many of them. You see. So if it is true, then there's a big deal. And why did I even try to bring in Jim Jones and TB Joshua then? Because people may not even know why I did that. I'm only trying to say that Tim Jones did not start as an evil person. Tim Jones never started as a bad person. He was actually a good person, you see. But one way or the other, his power corrupted him, you see. So it's very dangerous to believe people, you see, bring the person a very high esteem in a level at which he can do anything that he wants. You see, it's not so good. It's not so good. And Africa is fond of doing that. Africa is guilty of doing that. You see, the way we believe our pastors and all those. I'm not saying that we must not believe our pastors. I'm sorry to say that. You see, but we must live our lives in such a way that the pastors and men of God who should also respect us as free people. You see, we must also live our lives in a way where they must also respect the people. You see, other than that, the same thing that has happened in the story of Jim Jones is going to happen again. You see, if we give them so much power that we follow them in religiously, we give them the power to be like that, to operate that way, then I'm sorry, the kind of Jim Jones story is going to happen again. It's going to happen again, and that is going to be a very bad one. That is going to be a very bad one. So thank you very much, and please subscribe to my channel, Gabriel Adamti, on Facebook, Gabriel Adamti. On Instagram is Gabriel Adamti 12. On TikTok, Gabriel Adamti. Thank you very much. Bye.